Okay. I was gonna start off the video by making it to where I taught you guys how to design a character, but then I realized there would be some of my audience who would have absolutely no idea how to draw, and I kind of felt I was rushing it. But I don't really know how to counteract that feeling, so I guess I'll end up having to make separate videos for just tutorials by themselves, and then another set of videos for what I do when it comes down to doing my webtoons. But let me not use this. This is a bit too fine point. Forces precision. Let's use this. Classic, simple. Everybody can find one. These things, I got these for like, what, I think like a 20 pack for like $1. I can't remember. Either way, these are really good quality, really cheap, very lovely. Actually, here, let me put it a little closer to the camera so you guys can tell which. Oh, let me shut off the lamp. Let the camera readjust. Show you guys this. Oof. Alright, let me see if I can't pull back and have the words a bit clearer. Hopefully that's a little clearer. It's not. It's genuinely not. Where's that tiny sheet of paper? Here we go. It's type. I don't know why I'm trying to write it down when I can read it out to you. Ticonderoga. Don't know how it's pronounced actually, but whatever. Nope, terrible place. Alright, so that's going over there. But yeah, no, I completely blank. Because I was gonna show you how in the world to redesign Sans the skeleton, due to the fact that I'm going to be shifting how he looks for my story. But the sudden realization that I would have to do tutorial courses on basic art because I don't know how much of my audience can draw. It's put me in a small tilly. Fuck it. Let's do this. Let's do this. There's a reason I keep my dice nearby. Both for playing tabletops and also to my penny nearby. So we're gonna put drawing tutorials and webtoon tutorials. Webtoon/comic tutorials. That's a whole separate thing. Guess this one will be heads and this one will be tails. Sorry for the indecisiveness, but here we go. Shit. Well, tails it is. I'm not actually going to throw it away, I'm just going to put it that way. Alright, here we go. So, this, and just some standard janky ass store brand Sharpies, even though, well, yes, while these are name brand, these are like off brand of like Copics, because pen nib, not a brush tip, and flat nib, chisel. What the fuck did I say flat? It's a chisel. Just working with me here. This is my first vid in like a few years after a whole bunch of hoopla happened with my family, so I'm kind of rusty, I'm hella dusty, and my brain's just really crusty. So let's get on to it. Now, since I'm redesigning him and not designing him myself, for this, you have to look, when you do redesigns, what you have to do is you have to look up reference. I have my phone here on my Pinterest page with different references of different art styles of Sans. Not a lot, but it's enough. If you pay attention and break down how Sans is usually shaped, even from his sprite sheet, Sans is a standard breakdown of, I think it's the shirt that I want to. No, that one's for his coat. No, this one's for him. No, this one's for his coat. This one's for him. God damn it. I am being this. When it comes down to Sans, his body style is a simple composition of just circles and squares. And if you want to get more just a little more complex, I guess curves. But that's mostly this is mostly for this silhouette. That's mostly for a silhouette. If I was doing him anatomically, from the base work up, it would be a lot more analytical due to the fact that I would have to draw skeleton, I'm giving you a rough silhouette now. Have to draw skeleton. Then afterwards, I have to draw him with his clothes, his t-shirt, go, shorts, slippers. Sorry if this is far from accurate, but this is my first time teaching, so I'm a bit of an amateur. I'm hella an amateur. And then the final detail, like him with his fucking coat on and shit. I should have rounded that. Coat. Shorts. Slippers. And then all that shit. This is if I was trying to do a full, complete breakdown of how to redesign him. There's another style of concept design, which is, what was it? Costume design. That was it. I'm trying to recall a lot of the other YouTube videos I learned some of this from. Because a lot of professional artists will tell you the best way to sometimes learn something is to break it down as if you're going to teach it. So it actually helps a bit. I just have to keep myself from getting aggressively long-winded. Oh, nope, knock that over. Excuse me. If we do costume-based design, then we would be designing him via his gear first, which would just be him in his jacket, shorts, and then his slippers. Some people draw him in tennis shoes. I unfortunately do the whole, he switches between slippers and also tennis shoes. Let me just crappily draw some tennis shoes. There we go. Yeah. He switches between slippers and tennis shoes when he's either indoors or outdoors. So, yeah. It would be, for costume character design, it would be, you would draw him in his base costume and then you would pose him. You would put him in like different key poses, everything from him just casually telling a joke, him just casually telling a joke and shrugging it off. When either everyone laughs or nobody laughs. Again, this is like a rough silhouette, so nothing's going to be anatomically correct. Just a rough silhouette of him just doing a few key poses, whether it be something comical or like action-based, or he's, I guess be like dodging poses. Again, never be ashamed to go look for reference. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to get a lot of genocide run designs for him. So let's see. Dodging poses. So unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of artistic renderings of, Sans dodging. Let's see. Images. Something that's, let's see, a dodging pose for someone who's very, very casual, very lackadaisical. There we go. Let's see. It's not as lazy as I would like it. Excuse me. Here, let me leave it up here. It's not as lazy as I would like it, but I can make it lazy by shifting some of the key positions in the arm and the torso and how the head is looking. Because I can still use the legs from how the body silhouette is. I can still use how the legs are positioned. It's just the fact that I just need to shift how the torso is positioned, because I can still make it look like he's dodging without him putting too much energy into it. Arms and sleeves. Anatomy of him backwards. Head bone. His other short. His other leg. And where's the red Sharpie? Come on, all these fucking Sharpies and I can't find one red one. Shit. Alright, here we go. And let me grab the chisel tip so I can just swipe and write the word. This. There we go. Let me make sure I'm putting it up the right way. But anyway, yeah, I just did a little bit of tweaking with this pose alone, and suddenly we have the most lazy dodge in all of existence. Some people say he's dodging, some people say he's teleporting. I just say, I gotta draw the pose. And this style is just basic costume. This is basic costume. Character design. Let me put the underlines for all of them. E. Why am I illiterate? Anyway. Let me move this down here. But no, yeah, however, with all of them, you kind of want, whether it be you draw via their silhouette, you break them down, you draw them using costume as a sort of reference, even though while this all may look confusing, they're basically technically one and the same. It's just each one has different varying levels of detail. Like silhouette is like on the low end. Actually, here, let me show you where it's low, high. Like the silhouette one is on like the very low end, like right here, nearly at the lowest level of like breakdown. Costume is like somewhere in the middle. Because you still need like a certain degree of detail, but not too much. And then for like breakdown, it's like over here. You're breaking down every minute detail down to if they're missing like a joint in their finger or something. Like here, let me put the cap on. Like let's say the Sans U design has a specific number of phalanges and they're missing one on their pinky, so it means they only have 2 phalanges here instead of all 3. Technically all 4, but you know what I mean. I'm not done yet, but it's a bit of a doozy. Most of my styles of design I just realized I didn't even draw on the line. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna make them all ovals now. I fucked up, so they all become ovals. Perfect. I used to do breakdowns, but the problem is since I'm kind of, how do I put this? A bit all over the place. It's too complicated for me, so I had to switch to the lower 2 to kind of help me corral my thoughts, help me corral my all over the place thoughts into what I like, what I don't like. Could I keep this? Could I not keep this? I'll even use the designs from my character, which are under here. No, that's my sister. Give me a second so I can find mine. Because right here, like I explained in the last video, the pencil sketch, but it didn't help me completely corral my thoughts. So I switched to using Sharpie. No. Go away. It's not that. So I switched to using Sharpie. Nope, still my sister's designs. Still her designs. Like right here. This is my character, completely done in pink, and I think it's magenta Sharpie with pencils to corral in the extra detail. And you can see the different expressions and hairstyles I give her, the way I'm trying to shape her jawline to see how I'm going to look her her mouth moves and her face emotes and shit. Some silhouette designs for how I'm going with the jacket. Certain little tidbits and notes and doodles of like, do I want to add this? Yes, no. Certain poses, how I'm going on her body shape. Should I give her humanoid legs, animal legs? Which in this next photo you'll see I settled with animal legs because I didn't like the way the human legs looked. And I also gave her horns and some freaky tail because in my last design of her, give me a second so I can find the sketchbook. I think it's in here. Give me a second, it shouldn't take long. Don't mind me, that's a sign of progress. Disorganization, but progress. Nonetheless. Where is it? Shit. Wrong bag. Fuck. Hold on, please, you'll hear some noise in the background. That's just me going through my shit. Come on, you big bastard. Oh, wait, shit. Alright. Yeah, here it is. Alright. Come on. Don't be me. Come out of the bag. Fuck out of the bag. Fuck out of the bag! Get out! Alright, here we go. Alrighty. That's my last design of her. If I can find the goddamn page. No. Damn it. That's not it. Here we go. God, fuck. Alright. As you can see from this. How much can you see? Alright, here we go. I'm gonna turn it sideways so you can see it all. Alright, here we go. As you can see, this. I gotta grab everything that fell. Put that back. I didn't like her last design. And it's not because of the black and white. It's actually, which is the color palette she will end up keeping. But, you'll figure out why I colored her in pink later. But, as you can see from this design, I made her look too humanoid. And I didn't 100% like it. Plus, also, she looked closer to more like she would fit better in, like, FNAF? Like, if FNAF was magical, she looked better. She looked like she would fit more in FNAF than she would in, Undertale. If anybody's following along? Maybe. Maybe not. It's probably just me personally, but me personally, I just didn't. Let me see if I can't get her completely framed. I just didn't like her design. It was not a very. Actually, hold on. Let me move the camera so you can probably see. Sorry. So you can kind of like properly see her design. Yeah, see? This is her design. I didn't like it. I was a really big fan of it. It just didn't, I guess it didn't vibe well with me. So because of it, hopefully I didn't steal any extra papers. So because of it, I ended up redesigning her. And again, because I settled on the animal legs, I redrew the entire thing, but gave her the animal legs and drew the tail in proportion where Lord actually stuck. Redrew her face to see how Lord it would fit. Gave her stylized different hairstyles to see what would go with her. Outfits, other various things. And then add even more detail. You know, like how in the world I want the joints to connect, how in the world the tail looks from the back. This was just a doodle I drew for I guess, a quick mental break. How the hands look if you look at them up close, both of her eyes, how they're designed. Yeah, I kept the crack over the one eye because IRL I actually have a scar over one of my eyes, so I was just like, yeah, that bad. And this is one of the many things that I do to do my comic. So again, excuse me. Even though technically what I did just show you was also breakdown, but that was after I figured out silhouette and like costume. I still do the breakdown. Oh shit. No, this didn't break. I still do breakdowns, it's just the fact of camera's off kilter. Everything's off kilter. I still do the breakdown, but the breakdown is kind of like the last step. I still mostly focus on silhouette and costume because if I get too involved in the breakdown, I'm going to end up missing. I'm going to end up being too focused on the minute details instead of the actual details. So, yeah. What else can I do? One moment. It's probably not going to be a moment. I might cut this part out, but hold on. And I'm back. I completely partially forgot what the heck I was going to say in this scene. Goddamn it. What the heck I was going to say right now, and then it suddenly came back to me, but when it comes on also planning a character sheet, whether it be for pure character design or even just let me move these back there, or character redesign, you also want to make sure you have like an expression sheet. So hold on. Take off both ends. Just use that chisel tip to fix everything. Then one direction facing this way. Fix that chisel tip. Color in. And we have another one. So I still know which one's which. me make sure I keep the proportions even-esque. And then, like, third one. Make sure to still keep shapes in mind. Santa's head is slightly oblong circle with a sort of, I don't know how to put it into words. What type of shape he is? But excuse me, don't mind me. But like different expressions for like, I'm gonna use the pencil because it, I don't know if you guys can see that. Hold on, let me try and bring the camera a bit closer so you can see this. So you can see what I'm doodling. No, don't fall off the page. Please, no, stop. Don't. Better. Still bad. Alright, cool. The quality is janky. But, let's do this. Just gonna do that. Then we have... Also, when doing character designs, try to avoid using the eraser so you can get a gist of like things you like and things you don't like. Yeah, let's do a signature wink. It was always this eye, so it's signature wink. Signature wink, even though I feel like I'm drawing here like underswap sounds. That's mostly because I've been watching way too much anime. Signature wink. With his standard Cal Arts beam smile. Standard, I just finished telling a shitty joke wink. Let's see. Again, no shame in references. Give me 5 seconds while I find one. Now just need the table. I guess, and the skeleton. I could go back into my Pinterest. Right now, I kind of want some fresh ideas from Google. I keep forgetting I can only scroll so far into Google before I see the cough cough fandom at work and be both proud and a little terrified. You know, like expressions like these, somewhat. You know, I'll pick which one I like the best. Combine them. I'm gonna take the terrifying expression and crying, and I'm gonna combine it. I shouldn't pronounce that so fucking hard. That. Nose bone. Other eye socket. Let's see. Ears. Unfortunately, I can draw them big ass anime / Studio Ghibli tears. Childhood. That's my jam. The same shape for his smile and beam. Let's taper the edges down with a triangle. Still doing his teeth. Fill in the negative space with black. Coloring his eyes. Before he makes his eyes glow. So just straight terrifying. And then light shadow in between his eyes. Gently show the fact you fucked up. So, let's see. Joking. I guess this expression would be under the classification of vengeful. I'll put that around the sleeves, and then this one, much more. I'll use a much more peaceful expression, and I don't know how I know why the fuck it looks so much like Blueberry. I forgot to add the bags under his eyes. There we go. Now it looks like Sans. And I forgot to make him look tired. That was it. He needed to look tired out of his fucking ass. There we go. And then this one, I'll just make him sleep. This one I'll just make him sleep. Still give him the bags because he doesn't get good sleep. He's got nightmares in the Judgment Hall. Slightly furrowed brow ridge. Once again, that bean shape for his mouth, but smaller. Taper it down again. I'm gonna keep that one mistake. Kind of makes it look nice. Teeth. And color in the negative space. It's not really peaceful sleep. Bit of sweat. Yeah. This is him sleeping. But we'll put it under the classification of nightmare. because I was having a nightmare. It's not very peaceful, it's not very pleasant, and most people usually end up waking up screaming, so yep. Hold on. Let me move everything back. Shit. I gotta readjust the legs. There we go. Gotta readjust the legs. The camera. Wait, no. Adjust the angle a little more. No. Look, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You can all kind of tell. No. God damn it. Alright. But anyway, this is kind of the smaller basic rundown of how more I kind of put together everything, which even though these are notes for you guys, I can actually keep this for myself and I guess post it up on my Patreon. It's not the fact I don't know what else to talk about, it's the fact that I don't want to overload you guys because I have a tendency to go in long-winded speeches due to the fact of I kind of get it from my dad. The man can talk for like 5 hours straight like nothing's wrong. and then just look at us like, what's wrong? Sans, I guess this would be a tutorial. Tutorial. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it really blew out. Well, then again, what did I expect from fucking jacket? This was supposed to be the outline, not the light blue. Oh, jacket. We're just gonna be crazy. This would have been better as the shorts, but I'm already too deep in now. Let's see if I can't make these more noticeable. Tired. Get more tired. Nose line. Nope, that just makes it look horrendous. So, lesson learned here, never put Sharpie where pencil will do just fine, because sometimes the Sharpie is a bit too thick and will fuck up your line art. Especially if you don't know how to draw delicately with a Sharpie. Like moi. I don't know how to draw delicately with a Sharpie for shit. No, yeah, that's But no, yeah, that's a basic small summary of what I do character-wise, and even though that's just redesign, that's only like the basic, even though that's a redesign, that's just like the basic rundown of how to construct him. It's like, if I were to grab another sheet of paper and then went into slightly further detail. Give me 5 seconds. Let's see. God damn it, I keep dropping the shirt. And then went to, my knee. I just keep hitting shit and it's not fun for me. I hope I didn't lose my cut. Anyway, damn it, I am completely losing my train of thought, because while this may be no time for you due to the fact I'm editing this by myself, and yes, I'm editing this by myself, I have no one assisting me. At best, I have my sibling, but even then, they only cover a small percentage of all the shit I'm doing. But, you know, this may be no time for you at all, since I'm editing this, as I stated earlier. For me, it's been about a few hours, because when I first started recording this, it was about, I want to say, maybe 1 a.m.? Maybe like 1, 2 a.m. And now that I'm recording the second part again to edit with the first part, so it's all one cohesive video for you, it is now 7 a.m. Almost 8. So, yeah. But, anyway. But if I were to take the sand sketches that I drew and broke them down a bit more, you would end up having the, how would I break this down more for you guys? We're covered. No, that's where I'm still teaching you the basics. So it's not a matter of breaking it down, it's a matter of what else goes with it. Well, what else goes with it when it comes to designing characters is, if you're like me who has to sketch quickly when inspiration hits, you want to be able to do the silhouettes in color, which means you'll also need a color palette. I can never remember if it's 2 T's or 1 T or 1 L, 2 L's. You know what? Take my jank spelling. And when you do color palettes for your characters, make sure that they are unique and individual to each character. Even if some colors overlap, you have to be able to have secondary and like tertiary colors that don't. For example, Sans' palette is this blue Sharpie, which is actually called Blue 10, made by Royal Langnickel. the marker is known as Azure, which is kind of odd seeing as how not all the markers are blue. This blue Sharpie, which is a brand name Sharpie called Blue Ice, if I'm correct. Also, make sure to label your stuff sometimes. It helps keep track too. Blue 10, Blue Ice, because I don't know if the pencil will be noticeable, and fucking Sharpies, quit running away. This one is navy blue. This one is navy blue versus let's use the color palette for how I want to design I guess let's use my sister's character's color palette since I still have all the markers pulled out. I'm just going to put the initial, and then we have this unnamed purple. Where's the pencil? So this we have unnamed purple. We have this shade, which is known as Violet 16. Let me move these over here. Metallic silver Sharpie. Somebody just write silver. Then this one, which was lilac, which I need to find a new one or figure out some way to store it. And this one, which was called boysenberry. Berry. Yep. And excuse me. God damn it. And as you can see between the two palettes, you can tell distinctly who's who. Because even if I were to even if I didn't have the names written down, the difference between how I put together their colors would let me know who's who. Also, let's put in like an unknown third person where I also have to use blue 10 on them, but their tertiary colors, their secondary, tertiary, and all the extra colors was the navy blue and gold. Sorry if you could physically hear me rattling around in my totes. I was making this palette up as I go, so I'm just scuttling around in the lake. Holy shit, almost fell. Damn it. So I'm just scuttling around in my art tackle box, like, fuck, what do I do next? But like their next color was like navy blue, but then their accents were like gold, which there was hair in my Sharpie and I do not approve of that. Why is the nib out so far though? Make sure I just draw lightly. A bit better so the light hits it more. And then like the fourth color was like lilac. That's a real curious palette. But so long as I have the differentiation in color, the difference in color, damn it, so long as I have the difference in color for how in the world each of the characters is designed, it makes it easy to tell them apart. Also, you usually want to stick to about 3 to about 5 colors, so that way you can have let's see. So you can have one color act as the silhouette. Let me draw a face here. So you have one color. I guess, let's draw Sam again. Fuck it. I'm still working with him, so let's draw him again. You have one color be the silhouette, no matter how loosely sketched or filled in it is. Ta-da! You got one as the silhouette. Here's the outline. Even though these are actually the guidelines, not the outline. The outline goes around here, but I'm not going to add that until after I do this. Which, speaking of, give me a second to sharpen my pencil. There's actually supposed to be a specific way I'm supposed to sharpen it so that lead is long. There's actually supposed to be a specific way to sharpen it so the pencil lead is longer, but right now I don't feel like it. So that way I can draw on the details. Drawing his eyes like they're not sockets. Bags on them. I somehow, I think, made them uneven like the pirates' eyes. It might just be the little perspective. I don't know yet. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Sans doesn't have hair, so I don't need to add hair, but like, draw with pencil. Since this is a much larger image, I can use this Sharpie as the outline, so I can draw in some of the more prominent details, like his eye or smile. And I guess we'll use that gold color that I mentioned earlier, like his eyes and shit, so we'll just draw that in. Draw that in. I probably should use the silver sharpie instead of gold. Now he looks like an AU style Sans. And again, he kind of is, but I'm still basing him off of classic Sans. Here's outline. And sometimes it doesn't have to match the silhouette because the outline is just basically your line work. None of it has to be perfect, it just has to be cohesive and make sense to you. He feels like a yandere to me. I don't know why. It's probably why I drew the gold in his eyes. Can I dull it by using the navy blue? It does not dull. It's not dulling. I actually got gold in the lid. Give me 5 seconds. Gotta streak off the gold. That is a pretty ass effect, though. I have to remember that for another time. Let me just try my best to not out of bounds with the color. And I got close enough. Yeah, a bit of shading here for the side of the skull. Let me grab the dark blue again. Slightly hatch it. There we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, very nice. But no, yeah. And again, this is only the surface of all the shit I do. It's a lot. And make it even worse, I'm just designing a random sand. I'm just designing a random classic variant sand. This isn't even the sands I'm going to design for my story. It's just sands I'm redesigning in my style. Quote unquote. Now I've separated these bad boys back in the way I had them divided. Put this back, these back in their places. I gotta go. I forgot my thing wasn't locked, and if you probably heard that, I knocked over my mouth. So I'm just gonna go. I don't have an intro, I don't have an outro. I'm just gonna go.